I made a thing. More specifically, I 3D printed these custom GoPro mounts. Let me show you why. Well, I previously made a thing. You see, I bought myself this phone holder so that I could use the GPS on the bike if I need to. The only problem is that the mount that it came with seemed very weak and was pretty permanent. I also didn't want this big thing to stay in the way permanently if I don't need it, and most of the time I don't. So the best thing that came to mind was a GoPro mount. Just by principle, what they do, they are strong and they're easy to attach and detach. So I custom made this so that I could easily attach it to my bike if I need it, and detach it again. The only problem with that is that it's at a very funny angle. So if I want to use my GoPro with it, I have to use all these couplings for it to end up at the right angle. And that makes it very bouncy, as you can see in my previous video. Here I am today, and I'm fully recovered, and I will make a video, I think, describing that whole process and the recovery from my injury that I sustained there, and the things I learned. That's where the custom part comes in. There are a few different methods for 3D printing. Some of them offer different materials and different pros and cons. The cheap way is actually not a very strong way, and that's one where it lays down a filament of molten plastic in layers. I much prefer selective laser sintering, where it uses a very fine powder and melts the layers together using a laser. For all its many benefits, 3D printing unfortunately does not yet have 100% accuracy. This method does have a very fine resolution, but it's never going to be quite as accurate as an injection molded part. This bit actually seems pretty good. But this one's too tight. So I'm just going to use some of this 180 grit sandpaper wrapped around a ruler just to get into those little slots and loosen everything up just a little bit. I want to make sure I keep checking it so I don't make it too loose. It's getting there. A little bit more. Oops. That's looking good. Yeah, I think that will be much more solid. Well, now's the fun part. We get to go test it and see if we get a better result. Okay, let's see. Just need to adjust it. Okay, it still looks very bouncy, and that may be due to the mount itself. But let's go see. Okay, I can already see that it is still bouncy. Whether it's as bouncy remains to be seen. I'm gonna go pretty much on the bumpiest road I know of and see if we can notice a difference. This road really is ridiculous. They love to patch our roads instead of resurfacing them. Doggy. Cute. I think we can agree there's still a lot of movement there. I don't see it as a setback though. I'm still going to use that part, and some movement is to be expected. The fact is I'm still using a very early generation GoPro without image stabilization. So as I upgrade to a newer one, a smaller, lighter one, with image stabilization, we will obviously see better results then. Well, I wanted to show you the thing that I made. It's been a worthwhile exercise. I'll definitely use the part, and it's been educational. Subscribe to my channel to follow my adventures and see it in use. Man, why are you so slow?